I've cooked up custom tactics for every phase of the game on FC24, and we're going to walk you through each one of them. The formations that we're going to be covering in today's video are the 4-2-1-3, the new formation, the 4-4-2, the 4-2-2-2, and the 4-2-4. Also, I'm going to assume that you've already watched our FC24 custom tactics explained video. Click this card up here, or here, one of them. If you don't know how the tactic system works, go and watch that video. It explains it, then come back to this one. Starting off with our ultra defensive custom tactic, and this is going to be the 4-4-2. The aim that we have here is when we're in a winning position, let's say 2-1, in the 80th minute, we want to make it really difficult for us to break down. That's where the two banks of 4 will come in really helpful. For our depth and our width, we're running 39 in both. The reason why we run this is because of the changes to the natural AI pressing on the game. When you run 40 depth or more, we want to stop that. We're trying to see out a game. We don't want our team to be pressing and being aggressive. So 39 is the sweet spot. For our defensive style, we're going balanced. Again, there's no need to change anything here. Drop back invites too much pressure, and balance kind of gives us the best of both worlds in everything. For our attacking play, though, we want to run ourselves in balanced attack and direct passing. This way, the team will move up the pitch when you do go forward. Just naturally, they won't fly forward too quickly, giving yourself some easy passes. But then, when you get into that final third, pushing that defensive line back, giving you a bit of a gap between the midfield and the defense, which then means you might be able to drive into that 18-yard box. For our width, we're going 60. Players in box is 5. We don't want to commit too many numbers forward, and that width is kind of a little bit wider, but a sweet spot. And then for our player instructions, your fullbacks are going to be on stay back while attacking. Your left mid and right mid are on comeback on defense. Your center mids are on stay back while attacking and cover center. And then your strikers are on stay forward. And in terms of kind of beating the press, because we are trying to see out the game, the way you want to do that is looking for little dink balls over the defense and into your strikers, or going for over the top through balls into the channels for the wingers or the strikers to play onto. Now, the formation that I start the game with at the minute on FC24 is the new 4-2-1-3. This is similar in a way to the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3 attack, but we have two center defensive mids, still have a cam, and then we have wingers instead of the right attacking mid and left attacking mid that you would see in the 4-2-3-1. It's a really good formation at the minute. It's something that I'm really enjoying, and the play styles that you can play with this are pretty much endless. If you want to counter, you want to play possession, tick attacker, you want to have speed in the attack, it can kind of accommodate a little bit of everything. For our defensive style, we're going 50. Again, this is the start of the game. We don't need to come out the gates too aggressive, especially with our starter cards that we have. It really doesn't make sense to do that. For our depth, though, we are running 50 and our width is 39. So we do get the natural AI press because we're running over 40 depth, which will see your midfielders step up a little bit more, be more aggressive on the press, which can work an absolute treat. For some players, you're going to like this. For some players, you're not. If you don't like it, change the depth to 39. If you do like it, bonus. In that attack, again, we are going to go balanced attack and then direct passing. The reason for this is we, again, don't want to go long ball. We don't want to go fast build up. I like to play kind of a neutral build up play myself. Gives me the little bit of everything. If I want to counter, I can. If I want to go slow, I can. And then direct passing is still one of the go-tos at the minute with the way that it obviously pushes that defense a little bit further back. We are experimenting with everything else, with possession, with forward runs, and seeing how they all play. But for now, direct passing. I will also say that if you are wanting to be a little bit quicker on the attack, remember to use the L1 LB button to trigger runners off the ball. Because we're running balanced attack, when we win the ball, your team will move up in a normal kind of routine. Whereas if you want to be quicker, you want to send some runners, trigger the runners. All right, for our attacking width, we're going 55 and players in box is 6. And then time for the player instructions. Now, I like to get my fullbacks involved. So at the minute, my fullbacks are on balanced and overlap. If you obviously use this and you realize you have two centre backs pretty much there the whole time by themselves, change them to stay back. I understand the majority of you won't like that, but that's what I use. So just kind of telling you, should you wish to use it. Your centre defensive mids are on stay back, cover centre. I was thinking about putting these on cover wing, but ideally I want my fullbacks to try and get back and cover there and not leave the gap in the middle. So I'm kind of happy to give up the wings. So the CDMs will be on stay back, cover center. For your wingers, though, we are actually going to go on cut inside. So they sit on the inside of the fullbacks, which then means you hopefully can pick up the ball and drive directly at the centre backs, which is super, super strong. Your cam is completely on balance, and then your striker is on stay forward and getting behind. Do note that sometimes this means you won't have the passing to feet. You will only see your striker go in behind. So if you want them to come into feet, tap the R1, RB button when facing your striker, and then they'll come running towards you. Because obviously every now and then you do want that. Now this is for the cases where we need goals. We're losing the game. And that is where the 4-2-2 can be so good at getting us back into that game. I will say these tactics are super, super aggressive. So do bear that in mind when we're looking at this. You are going to run press on possession loss. Immediately, this means that when you lose the ball, your team is going to press for the next 7 seconds. This drains stamina, and obviously we're using cold cards here, which don't have the greatest stamina off kind of the start of the game. So make sure you use your 5 substitutions that you do have available, okay? Your depth is 55 and your width is 49. The depth just been a little bit higher because we're trying to run a higher line. We're trying to get that ball back. We need goals. Having that higher line will help you do that. This is the first time in these tactics where we actually go long ball and then direct passing. Long ball will basically say to your attackers, when we get the ball, we want to look to get in behind. We want to look for any target play. We want to look for those through balls. Let's get going. We want to try and hit quickly on that counter attack. And when you need goals, this can be a great way for you to do it, to try and get up if an opponent has a player out of position. So long ball there for us. We go for 60 width and 7 players in box, pushing our players in box up more to try and find any late runners for any cutbacks, any byline drives, whatever it may be. The fullbacks are actually on stay back while attacking because, again, yes, we need goals, but I know so many people prefer having them on stay back, but mainly because we're going to get more of our centre mids involved here. So you're going to have one DM on balance and cover centre. This is your more box-to-box minded midfielder. And then your more defensive one, the one that you don't really want going forward, have them on stay back and cover centre. Your right attacking mid and left attacking mid are not going to help in defence. They are going to be on stay forward. This way, that out ball is always there for them. For your strikers, have one of them on getting behind and then both of them on stay forward. The idea here being that you can lay it to the one striker that's on balance and then look for a quick through ball in behind to the striker that's on getting behind. Make sense? And now we are absolutely getting dominated. We're 3-0 down. We need goals. This ultra attacking tactic will help you press, be aggressive, and make it really difficult for the opponent to play out. This is going to go one or two ways. You're going to get goals, you're going to get back into the game, and then you're going to switch off this tactic, or you're going to concede more goals. That's how this tactic works, all right? It is the 4-2-4. This is just such an aggressive setup. We're running constant pressure. This means that your team will always be pressing the opponent. They'll always be getting kind of player for player, getting touch tight, trying to make it difficult for them to play out. We are running 71 depth and 30 width. The 71 depth obviously encourages that high line, trying to get those offside traps in, trying to make it difficult for the opponent to play in the middle, encouraging them to go for the long ball in behind. You run a high line, you get an offside trap, or you cover those over the top through balls. You then get that ball back more often. We're going for long ball and direct passing again for the same benefits as what I previously explained in the 4-2-2. 70 width in the attack and 8 players in box. What we want to do here, we want to try and create across the pitch 1v1 isolated battles. The more width we go, the more we spread the play that can do that, which is why we have this here. Again, thinking about if we're losing by that many goals, we're making some subs, we want to try and get our right winger, left winger isolated with their fullback, and our left winger, right winger has just come fresh off the bench, has some good pace. Can we beat past the opponent? We are going to be sending everything forward here though in this tactic. So your fullbacks are unbalanced, your centre mids are on cover centre, one of them on stay back. So you basically play with a 3-back and then the other centre mid on balance and still cover centre. Your right wing and left wing are on getting behind, and I'm also trialing aggressive interceptions. This is something that over previous years hasn't been great. EA haven't changed it, you know, it's not something they've changed, but I just wanted to try and see if it has made a difference, if there's anything that has technically impacted on that. So left wing, right wing, getting behind, aggressive interceptions. Also for your wingers, stay forward on them as well. And then on your strikers, we're going to run stay forward and aggressive interceptions, and pick one of your strikers again to be on that getting behind instruction. So these tactics, when executed properly, will help you get more wins on FC24. What can also help you get more wins is having the right controller settings. If you click this video here, that will take you over and explain what you need to be running on FC24 with your controller.